Now let's bring in our next guest, Matthew Johnson, a good friend of the income generation. Matthew is the owner of Johnson Wealth and Income Management, a retirement income store located in Iowa. He's a radio host and host of the YouTube channel, The Cannibalize Life. Matthew, thanks so much for being back with us today.
Hey, you're welcome, Dave.
Hey, Matthew, it's great to see you. We just covered in the show, total return equals income plus growth. So give us your idea on how you convey to your customers, how do we explain the difference between income plus growth? What's the difference there, MJ?
Well, I think so many people, they tend to think that growth is just capital appreciation, but they tend to forget you can grow your money the old-fashioned way through interest and dividends. You know, thinking back in history, how many millionaires have we seen that have passed away? And when we studied what their investment philosophy was, it was that safe, steady return of interest and dividends on their principal, compounding year after year. And we can't forget that it's exciting to put points on the board, but there's other ways that you can grow your net worth as well.
Okay, I agree with you on that. But how do we explain the income part of the equation then? That might be the growth side, but how do we convey the income side?
Well, the income side is going to be more contractual. It's going to be more steady. You know, there's a universe of tools that are out there that we can put our money into, our principal that we've worked so hard for, that will provide us that steady stream of interest and dividends as long as we're holding those fixed income type investments. And as we get older, we know that the cost of living is likely to be going up. We see the trend of what's happening. We know that we're going to need to potentially draw more and more from our principal and have income. So the question becomes, do you want to cannibalize your principal in order to get the income, or do you start to transition your principal into the production of income so you get more of an output naturally and consistently month after month?
So Matthew, in a minute, we're going to actually talk in the show about the real problem. People procrastinate and they wait too long to make that transition from the G to the I, but you're kind of a man after my own heart because you have a pilot analogy, which of course, you know, I love pilot analogies. Why don't you share with our audience your pilot analogy as to why you shouldn't wait too long?
Well, think of it this way. If you're, flying in a commercial flight and you're at 30,000 feet, well before you actually get to the destination, the pilot always comes on and says, we're about to begin our descent. They don't just fly right over the top of the tarmac and then drop straight down. They actually start that descent right well before they actually get to the runway. And the idea is that we want to be able to start making these transitions towards retirement. We know that it's coming. We know that it's going to be in our future. And so why would we want to wait until the day after we retire to start making this transition and getting ourselves prepared for this income and distribution stage of our life? Why not begin that transition sooner so that you're able to smoothly transition into retirement, having the income already there and available?
Yep. And as you say, not free fall your way into retirement. Matthew, as usual, some great words of wisdom. Thanks for being back with us here. And you stay with us. We have more coming up in just a moment right here on the Income Generation. We'll be right back.